Wolverine and the X-Men number 25 begins with Wolverine deciding to take a select group of students on a field trip to the Savage Lands. Beast warns him to be careful and suggests a few at-risk students who could benefit from the trip. On the Blackbird ride there, Wolverine informs Quentin Quire that he has been elected school president and attempts to give him some advice. He reminds Quentin that people like Charles Xavier and Captain America were willing to give him a second chance because they saw potential in him. Now, Quentin must live up to that potential. When they land, Wolverine informs the group of their assignment. They must track him across the Savage Lands and find the Blackbird that will take them home. Because the Savage Lands are so dangerous, their survival depends on their ability to work together. After Logan leaves, they are immediately attacked by dinosaurs. The students are able to defend themselves, but quickly realize how dire their situation is. To complete their assignment, each student has very different ideas as to what their strategy should be. Quentin realizes that things are beginning to spin out of control and realizes that this is his moment that he can live up to his potential. He takes a leadership role and begins giving out orders. However, none of his fellow students acknowledge his leadership and they all go off in their own directions. Wolverine, who has been secretly watching the situation unfold, is disappointed. He realizes that this trip might have been a bad idea, but before he can act further, he is attacked. The attacker turns out to be none other than his time-traveling brother, Dog. We're left to wonder, can these kids survive without Wolverine looking after them?
I definitely think these kids can survive. I mean, they're so powerful. Maybe except Boy. I mean,
Boy's pretty legit because he can see magical anomalies and stuff like that.
Okay, he can see them, but that doesn't mean he can.
He's got utility.
If he's alone, I don't think he can survive. But they definitely have the capacity to survive. But will they? It's gonna be all about teamwork.
Well, I think that is the whole point of this arc, is that they're finally gonna bond together as a team.
Yeah, because right now, everyone else has these teams, but the Wolverine and the X-Men, it's just a school. There's no real team there to be had.
Well, they're turning into like the new generation. Well, their new generation.
Yeah.
Not Generation X or Generation Hope, but like whatever comes next.
Generation Omega.
I do feel like this issue though it's kind of setting up the future storylines for this run, and like what each character's overarching story will be. Like Evan has this whole hero complex.
Yeah. I think Evan as a character is going to be very interesting in the next year or foreseeable future, just because he is trying so very hard not to become what everyone expects him to be. But I think at this point, it seems like, irony is going to sort of lead him to the point where he might
become Kid Apocalypse?
Yeah.
I don't think he will.
Come across as something that is like that. Like, I can see him making some mistakes that are going to cause him to, like, appear that he's evil, but then he's going to have to overcome them, and I think it's going to be an interesting.
I completely disagree. I think Rick Remender, at the end of his Uncanny X-Force run, where he has the Brotherhood capture Evan and attempt to force him into becoming Apocalypse, and he doesn't, I think that just proves that he won't.
I agree. He's not going to become Apocalypse. I'm saying that the perception of him becoming Kid Apocalypse is only going to get worse until he
can prove that he's a hero.
Yeah, and I think before that happens, there's going to be multiple missteps on his part, because I don't think he really knows how to be a hero. Like, he's flying off trying to find North in this issue, and he's flying east.
So it's just him incorrectly flying north was just Aaron throwing in like a metaphor.
The other characters that I'm really looking forward to see develop are Broo and Idie.
Right.
And Broo is obviously in this completely different frame of mind right now, and he's got to get back, and Idie is just being your characteristic, depressing self.
Idie is really kind of bugged me since she was like the main catalyst in Schism 2 years ago, and I just feel like her character hasn't developed all that much since. The only thing we've seen is she's gotten like super Christian, and
she was already super Christian.
Yeah, but now as it relates to being a mutant, I just feel like her character hasn't gone anywhere, and I think that's kind of disappointing.
I think the whole Broo mishap was a backward step for her, and so any development that she did have as like personal development, where she was maybe coming to terms because she was starting to like all these different mutants, but
she was getting more outgoing.
But then this happens, and now she's back into the same old doldrums of, oh my god, I hate being a mutant. We're all cursed. Obviously, the last person, and probably the most important person that's going to be developed in the foreseeable future, is Quentin Quire.
Quentin was pretty awesome in this issue. He finally actually stepped up and tried to be a leader, and I think that was a little bit from what Wolverine told him.
Mm-hmm. He's the school president now.
Yeah, because of Charles Xavier's endorsement. Well, I found that strange is Wolverine said well, since Wolverine voted for him, which is just kind of strange that the teachers
Yeah,
allowed to vote.
why are they voting, right? Yeah.
And he said he won by 1 vote over Inora, I think. And I never knew Inora was, like, a popular dude. It seemed like he's got, like, exoskeleton arm. I just feel like there's a lot of other people you would want to vote for.
Maybe he's got personality that.
Why not vote for, like, Armor? Because she's been, she's run with the big dogs,
That doesn't matter. It's all about popularity, and just because she's run the big dog doesn't mean she's popular. But Quentin Quire has really he's probably been the one character that's developed the most in the entire Wolverine and the X-Men series so far. And I honestly think he's going to be, like, before how Scott was the leader of the generation, then, Hope was the leader of the newest, youngest generation. And I think Quentin Quire is going to be the leader of this generation.
I definitely think could happen as well. I mean, we've sort of seen him develop as a leader. He used to be kind of the rebel before, but even in this issue, he actually stepped up and attempted to lead. Although it was unsuccessful, he at least tried.
Incredibly unsuccessful, which is hilarious.
He at least tried, though, and you gotta give him credit for that.
What would you give as a grade to Wolverine the X-Men issue number 25?
I thought this issue did a really great job of setting up future storylines and kind of seeing what each character's dilemma is going to be in the future. And I'm going to give this issue a 4 out of 5.
I'm going to give it the same grade, 4 out of 5, for pretty much the same reasons. I also just love the jokes that they throw in.
So thanks for watching B3 Comics review of Wolverine and the X-Men number 25. Before we go, though, we got a question for you guys.
So we discussed how Quentin Quire is being set up as the Scott Summers of his generation. Would you agree, or do you think someone else is destined to be the leader?
Leave your answer below in the comments, and thanks for watching.